Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. It is getting warm here in Southwest Florida and humid too. We're getting into rainy season. It rained. It was really cooking earlier today, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and then the storms came through, so then it rained and they blew through, and now there's no rain. Well, it's spitting rain a little bit, but it's still warm, so the humidity's gone way up. I brought my camera outside, set it up, and there was immediate misting on the lens of the camera, condensation. And so I'm waiting. I waited for the camera to warm up, for the humidity to go away, and yay, now I'm ready. So it's the start of the season that the orchids really love because it rains most days and it's really warm and very humid, so these guys are just going nuts. And I enjoy it, but more in the morning because that's the only time that it's cool enough outside to do anything. Anyway, I just have a short video today on just the one orchid, and I picked this orchid up last week when I was visiting a grower on the east coast of Florida. So this is one orchid. I recognized the parents, at least the name of the parents on the orchid. There was a nice picture of a flower that was associated with this batch of plants, and I asked the grower, and then on the tag, I should say, it says Cattleya Fadhi Delight, Tainan City. So I know both of the parents, and I know it's going to be a good cross. I really like the picture of the plant, and I asked the grower, is this an unregistered orchid? Do you know any background information on it? And he says, well, sometimes when he gets his orchids in, it's a little confusing, but he researched everything, and he thinks it's an unregistered hybrid from this cross. So again, this is listed as Cattleya Fadhi Delight times Tainan City. And it sounded awful familiar to me, but I was in a rush. So I was a rush to present at a meeting. So if there's any local orchid societies that I visited, either on the west coast of Florida that I did this week, or the east coast of Florida where I presented last week, hey, thanks for watching. Anyway, I was in a real hurry to get to this meeting, so I just grabbed this orchid and left. Once I got home, I looked it up, and I was a little disappointed because this, not only it is a registered cross, but I already have this cross. Now, what I'm hoping is that the picture that was posted above this collection of plants is what the clone looks like, but I don't know, and I've got to wait for this to bloom. Now, it's a nice plant. I picked one that had two new pseudobulbs growing out of it. Nice plant, well grown, looks like a nice cross, but I just hope it isn't the same one. So this is, first of all, this cross is not Cattleya Fadhi Delight. It's RLC Fadhi Delight times Cattleya Tainan City. But this is a registered cross, and this is RLC Buranapan Nicom. There, I got it. RLC Buranapan Nicom. And here's an image of my flower on my plant that bloomed a little while ago. When you go orchid shopping, you've got to really look up what you have. I always have my phone with me, but I had very poor reception there, and I check the orchid background and history, and I have orchid roots on my phone, and I should have checked when I was looking, but I was in too much of a rush and I didn't, so I bought this plant that I may or may not already have, and it's a nice plant, but we'll see how it goes. But how crowded my orchid growing space is, I usually don't get duplicate plants. So it may end up, I got to see what it looks like when it flowers, and if it's different from what I have, that's okay, but it may end up as a gift. If it's the same thing, it's going to end up being a gift to someone. All right, so really that's all I have today, is that when you go orchid shopping and you're looking at plants, make sure that I usually return to the reputable growers and sellers. I may or may not return to this place. I don't really appreciate that the complete information on this orchid wasn't available, and that even the tag is mislabeled because it doesn't list the specific name of the orchid, number one, but then this is not the first orchid that's on the tag. Is not Cattleya, it's RLC, same alliance, but it's different. It should have been labeled a little bit better at a number of different levels. So just make sure when you're buying orchids, these are expensive. You should get what is advertised and what you pay for. I have no ID orchids, and I treat those not as well as my known orchids because they're not as good. And this is kind of in between here, when you have a Cattleya, when you have an orchid that may not have been labeled correctly, and now really I don't trust this plant, and I'm going to have to wait and see how it flowers and what the flower looks like before I know for sure what I have, and that's too bad when that happens. All right, that's all I have for you today. I have a lot of other things going on. I've got burlap, Cattleyas, and this that I want to show you later. I want to show you how I mount on boards. This will be fun. I've never really done this exactly before. I've got first blooms on 2 plants, and then returning blooms on a few other plants, and I'm anxious to share all of those with you. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, again, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.